Hi, I'm PhilXV, and this is my Supercharged Crosstrek. So I started the process of supercharging the Crosstrek exactly 2 years ago, and it's still running great, still a daily driver. I put over 30,000 miles on it. It's hauled a 1,500-pound camper at 120 miles per hour. Nobody ever told me not to go that fast with a camper. I changed a couple things on it. Bigger blow-off valve, down to 1 instead of 2. I painted supercharger orange. I thought, time for some dress up. Let's see. Torque Solutions master brake cylinder brace, and messed around with some stuff with the breather and PCV line. As you can see, the 3 coats of house paint didn't really hold up too well. It's got a series of chips in it from, I'm guessing, hitting bugs, and it's UV faded. So we'll first start with the breather line. Now the breather line pulls air in and pulls air out. So that one's hooked up to an old catch can and hooked up to the vacuum line, so it's not always under boost. This was a trial test, and it seems to be working really well. I have the PCV line hooked up to a 3-way that's hooked up to 2 one-way check valves. So it goes that way and that way, and this PCV line is actually hooked up to the bottom of the supercharger, because there are 2 things down there. One that's kind of plated, and the other one I have the hose onto it. So when this is under boost, the check valve stops it, and that there's always vacuum in the PCV line. It's always going into getting pulled from the supercharger. This is a knockoff tile 50mm blow-off valve I got for $36 off eBay. You do have to pretty much clean and grease these every oil change, and I use a Mobil 1 synthetic grease on it. I managed to get this straight piped up so that there's not 4 elbows down there. So that also improved the boost a little bit. I've installed .4 liquid in it. It's nice and clean. And the Torque Solutions master brake brace. There's barely any room for this, and it's not exactly flush. So it says it fits the Crosstrek, and I know other people have bought this and put it on the Crosstrek, but it does not seem to be perfect. All the other bolt holes are good. There's 2 on that side, it's 2 here, and then there's this one, and it's like I could crank this down all the ways, but then I'm like, and there's just barely any room. It was such a hardship to get that little thing in there and then push this against it and kind of, it's crazy. I did try to reinforce my bracket a bit in case the such a great weld job I did doesn't hold up. And I did this to help out with structural So the BRZ exhaust does not fit. Like, the muffler fits on the hangers, but the mid hanger doesn't fit. The BRZ resonator is massive, and then you just need to extend it out and hook it right up to the stock. I got some new suspension upgrades. The Mevotech. Ball joint. And bushing. The neat thing about these bushings is that they're solid all around, where the OEM ones have this little hole in them. So he's overbuilt for durability. I was hoping to get more drag racing in, some SCCA racing. It would have been nice if Boxerfest wasn't pushed back, but it's better for safety reasons. COVID-19 ruined a lot of fun for this year, because this year she was ready for SCCA racing. I'm hoping that the new date for the Boxerfest isn't pushed back, and I'm hoping to be doing some car shows real soon. Stay safe and have fun, Subi fans.